Your teacher is a little bit upset over Streamlabs. Because apparently, whenever I decided to start this stream, it crashed out on me yet again, forcing me to turn the computer off and everything, and causing me to be a little bit delayed in the stream whenever I was supposed to start it. Anyways, greetings, creatures and humans alike. I am MagiQDog, who is a little bit annoyed, but is still doing this. And tonight on this Creature of the Week, we shall be talking about Scribble. We are going to be talking about the Selkies. Okay, give me just a second to kind of get out of my funk. Oh, there we go. Okay, happy time. Woo! Okay, and with that, we can go ahead and get started with this class, shall we? By the way, y'all are hearing me okay, right? Oh, y'all can hear me, but you can't hear my regular voice. God bless it. Give me just a second.
How about this? Nope, wait. There we go. Oh, hey, sees the memes? Oh, sees those memes? How you doing? Sorry. Got the name mixed up. I mean. But anyways, excellent. I mean, yeah, that's good. I'm glad you're doing excellent. And, I hope you're in for a special treat, because on this class, we're going to be talking about the Selkies, which are very unique shapeshifters. So I hope that you sit back, relax, and enjoy me as I spit out these facts. Hey, that rhymed pretty good. Huh. Anyways, let me go ahead and get started. So, Selkies are still shape-shifting creatures told in Scottish and Irish mythologies. And a little bit of Celtic as well. Forgot to put that down. Let me get rid of the name. Name. There we go. Whoa. Whoa, wrong one. Wrong one. Wrong one! There we go. Appearances. The Selkies are described as beautiful humanoids on land. They are said to be so alluring that any human seeing them will fall in love and try to marry them. Selkies will always have with them a seal pelt, either on them or hidden in a hiding spot. These seal pelts are that of grey seals, a common seal found in Ireland. Whenever they want to, they'll put on the pelt and transform into a seal, looking exactly like a grey seal, except for the part where they are larger in size. Most Selkies in Ireland stories are told as female beings, but there are tales of male Selkies who are so handsome, and these males seem to go after female humans unlike their female counterparts. Rows in mythology. Selkies in Ireland are sea creatures that stay out of the seas or in the coastlands. They have a deep connection to the ocean and spend all their life being in or around it, like that of a real seal. Their shape-shifting is what allows them to stay on land and water alongside humans. Depending on the area or island of Ireland, some accounts say that they can shape-shift at will, while others say it has to be in a specific time, like that on a full moon, or a number of years, with 7 being the most common. Whatever the case, Selkies need their seal pelts in order to change back from human to seal form. Due to this, whenever they want to go about, whether it be like dancing, strolling on the beach, or whatever else, they're hired. Hang on a minute, I can't concentrate real good while having the background music being listened on with these headsets. I don't even know why I'm wearing them. Anyways, where was I at? Oh, right. Whenever they want to do their business, they'll hide their sea pills within rocks, caverns, under sand, or wherever else they can. However, this often leaves the human males finding these sea pills and taking them. Females Female Selkies are alluring and beautiful to men, and as such, they'll hide their seal pelts and force the Selkies to do whatever the man wants, which in most stories is forcing them into marriage and having a family. The Selkies are powerless against them and must obey them. Selkies will spend a part of their life living with a man in a forced love relationship and having hybrid children known as half-Selkies, which they themselves will have magical powers too. However, the Selkies are patient creatures that will always snoop around to find their pelt and always learn where it's at, often due to some magical force drawing the Selkies to their pelts. They'll eventually take the pelt back and abandon the man and children and go back to the sea. The half-Selkies, drawn by their Selkie half, might too eventually go out to sea, leaving behind the man. Now note that the human men will always be on edge due to the eventual moment when the Selkie finds their pelt and leaves them, sometimes leaving them in a poor mental state. However, not all encounters are tragic like the Selkie wives. There are stories of Selkies who are helpful to humans or ask for help by them too. However, in odd cases, they can be dangerous and vengeful creatures when push comes to shove, especially the males. And speaking of which, they actually have their roles reversed, as they become the seducers to lonely female humans. They are also more dangerous due to them controlling storms and causing shipwrecks when provoked badly. But as I mentioned, they are mostly peaceful creatures that just want to be left alone to live out their life out at sea. Other female sea creatures. Selkies are unique shapeshifters as they become only seals and human and live out in the ocean. You don't often get shapeshifters that becomes a sea animal in mythologies. However, there are plenty of humanoid sea beings told in different myths and legends, with the female gender being a more common one. As such, here are some examples of female sea beings that exist out in the deep blue, like the Selkies. First is the famous Mermaid, a half-woman, half-fish sea creature that can lure men in with their beauty and songs to their untimely demise. Make a quick note, Selkies are considered a type of mermaid for the Irish people. I also want to mention all the other mermaid-like creatures like the Sirena and Merrows throughout other parts of the world. Up next are the Sirens. These half-women, half-bird creatures of Greek myths will also lure in men to crash their ships and drown them, and they too live out on the islands around the Mediterranean. Then there are other female shapeshifters like the Swan Maidens of European myths. While not sea-based creatures, they are beautiful female shapeshifters who can become swan and human by putting on or removing swan feathers. Another shapeshifter of the seas are the Kushtaka of Tlingit Alaskan people. They are shapeshifters that go from human to sea otters or other otters, making them akin to Selkies. However, don't let their cute otter form fool you. They can be vicious killers who lure in any foolish person to a watery grave, or even turn their victims into Kushtakas themselves. You know, I actually need to do a creature of the week of that one. That was actually a pretty cool one to talk about. Anyways, Laminak of Basque myths are female fays who live alongside shores and streams and having duck feet and fish tails. And the Oceanids and Naiads are Greek nymphs of the ocean and seas. There are also other shapeshifters and sea-based creatures to pull out too, like the Werewolves, East Usage, and others. But we'll be here forever if we go through all that. Oh, they have them in The Witcher 3? Oh, man. Okay, I will admit, I did play The Witcher 3 a little bit on the Switch too, but I got so lost in it and I couldn't figure out the best ways to level up and stuff. I ended up dropping it. That is the only game that I dropped, and I kind of feel bad about that too. I might get back into it one day. First things first, I gotta rebuy the game. But continuing on, we also got powers. Selkies are mostly non-combative creatures, as many stories often tell of them being the victims with their female counterparts. Males, on the other hand, are different. However, Selkies do have some powers and abilities they will use. First and foremost is their shapeshifting. They are known to turn from human to seal and attain both species' natural powers and abilities. With their human half, they have human level or beyond human level intelligence, able to walk upright, talk, and even use tools and weapons. For their seal half, they are adaptive to sea life, able to swim, immune to cold waters, survive deep waters in one breath, enhanced seal physical powers, along with a seal bite force, water vision, and other seal abilities. Another power seems to be their supernatural beauty. Both male and females are able to enchant humans to the point of them falling in love, although this may backfire for the female ones. They also seem to have a supernatural connection to the sea. This includes the powers to communicate with the sea life, able to sense beings within their waters, or even some water and storm manipulations. These storm manipulations are often associated with the male Selkies, which they do use to sink ships against the seal hunters. So males are considered more dangerous ones of the Selkies. Male Selkies can also be summoned by sad women if they cry 7 tears into the sea. Yeah, you can summon one by simply crying into the sea. So if you want to meet one, go do that. But you gotta be very, very sad. Anyway, what am I even saying? And on the rare case they do seek revenge, they can even cast nasty curses that can result in damaged nets, bad fishing, or even death upon families for generation. And finally, they seem to have some unique magical powers too, which includes rapid healing from wounds, often from assistance from those that wounded them, creations of house Selkies, and other magical abilities. So Selkie seems to be more than just shield. They're a shield hero. I mean, still shapeshifters. Why is it that every time I start messing up halfway? And then we got the weaknesses. And you guys probably guessed this, but a lot of stories with Selkies often talk about how the human males can capture females, and that's due to their weaknesses. Oh, hey, Knight, how you doing this fine night? By the way, gonna cut away from this a little bit. Before I got started on my stream, I saw that you was doing the DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. How's that coming along? It's good? That's good. That is going good for you. Alrighty then, class. Let's go ahead and get back into this. Let's see. And that's due to their weaknesses? Aha! Oh, you're halfway done. Okay. I need to try to find time to watch you whenever you're doing that as well. I'm telling you, I don't seem to have time for myself anymore, man. I can't even sit down and watch Freyren or Primal or my other anime shows. I need to watch them so badly. Oh, hang on a second. But yeah, I have got to try and find time to watch people's streams, watch my anime shows, and do all that. By the way, where was he at? Oh, yeah! Oh! Okay, I'll have time to answer this one. I'm actually not a unicorn. This horn actually comes from a female mythical creature along with all my other body parts. Let me show you. Okay. What? Oh, I forgot the words. Hang on a second. There we go. Yeah! I can actually become any mythical creature that I know of. Thank you. For example, I got the mermaid tail. I got the Futa Kuchi Ona hair. I got the periwing on my right. And a succubus wing on my left. And let me zoom in real close real quick. Let me get rid of the wings. Wings. There we go. Ah, and the hair too. I have got to fix that. But anyways. And a Manananago tongue too. for my regular body, I got like a Amazonian body, Valkyrie arms, a Brusta teeth, basically a type of vampire, along with fingernails, and a llama's breast. I'm sorry, a llama's personality. There we go. But yeah, that's actually part of my magical powers and stuff. I pretty much get my powers from my crystal, which can allow me to either fully or partially transform into any mythical creature that I know of. So basically put, I got unlimited amount of transformations. And in fact, give me just a second. Sorry guys, I know we're in the middle of class, but I can't help it. I gotta throw some stuff off. Give me just a second. And let me get back to my regular voice real quick.
Ah, here we go. And I also can do this too. This here's my dragonoid form. I pretty much got all my body parts that are related to dragons. Yeah, I got the wyvern wings, got the Asian dragon horns. Let me zoom in real quick so you guys can see my basculus eyes. I promise I won't turn you into stone. See? Oh, and my Krillin ears, or Krillin, whichever one, I forgot what it is. And let's not forget about my dragon hands. So yeah, I got some pretty cool transformations. Oh, speaking of which, better get back into my female form.
Ah, here we go. Give me just a second. Ah. And speaking of which I hope you guys are excited for this, I got a fourth one coming up. And I am so excited for it. I actually done a artwork where I actually drawn out the fourth model. It's on my YouTube channel, so if you guys want to go check that out, I'll also leave a link in the descriptions below. That way y'all can go check it out whenever I drawn it. It's actually a pretty cool one, and I am so excited to have it fully modeled, so that way I can show you guys, because it is badass. But anyways, we better get back into class though. After all, we gotta talk about the Selkies here. Which honestly, if I ever do like a sea creature based one, I could get a Selkies seal pelt on me. Probably use it as a belt around my waist. Oh my goodness, that would be a really cool idea. But you know what? I'm getting too far into that. Let's go ahead and talk about their weaknesses. Oh, here we are. The primary weakness of a Selkie is the theft of their seal pelts. Without their seal pelts, not only are they cut off of their shapeshifting, but also a lot of their other abilities as well. They are also forced to do whatever the human captor tells them to do, and destroying the pelt will have them stay in their human form till the day they die. Sad. Another weakness is their actual beauty. Like how it's a power to use, it can also be their weaknesses too. This is really shown for females as how it causes them to get targeted in the first place. Another weakness is a yearning for the sea. If trapped on land, they have a strong desire to return to, which often causes the Selkie to be depressed or having a heartbroken pain for it. And finally, Selkies can be hunted and killed. There are stories of seal hunters who end up killing the Selkies in disguise, and even a story of how a seal hunter used a dagger against the king of Selkies. And while normally attributed to them, iron, coal iron, and silver are used against many supernatural creatures, including other shapeshifters like the werewolves, so they could be used against them as well. So if you're wanting a Selkie as a bride for yourself, which as a magical creature I find that deeply disturbing, here are ways to go for it. But please don't do that, just leave them alone. They just want to live out their lives, man. Relationship with humans. Selkies and human relationships are a bit unusual, even compared to other mythical creatures. The very fact that humans are the ones on the darker side of the relationship instead of the creature like a Selkie is kind of rare. Especially when you look deeply into how atrocious humans will be to a Selkie. Yeah, it doesn't look good for y'all. Humans, when seeing one, will become madly in love with them. And, wait, I just lost track. Even to the point of stealing their pelt and force them into a romantic relationship. Many of times, the humans will force the Selkies into marriage and even having children, which is often against their will. Yeah, kind of some sick stuff. Selkies in these relationships will have no choice in the matter. And while they do get a little happy with a child for a while, their lingering to the seas will make them saddened. The worst part is that humans know this, and they'll try in desperation to make their Selkie partner stay. They will try to hide their pelts as best as they can, or may even destroy it if worse comes to worse. Basically put, the Selkies are normally captives of love, while the humans are the captors. And this ain't even the worst part. Humans are known to kill Selkies too as seal hunters. They will see large seals, and despite knowing that they might be Selkies in seal form, they will still go to kill the seals and take their pelt, resulting in the deaths of Selkies in the process. This in turn does cause some Selkies to become vengeful, casting curses, bad fortune, and bad rhetoric to peoples and towns. This kinda gives a terrible relationship between these two beings. But while it may seem loom and gloom, not all relationships are this terrible. Selkies have been known to be helpful and friendly creatures that would have a natural friendship to humans. They can even save those that might drown at a sea. There are even tales of Selkies themselves falling in love with humans without the need of stealing pelts. They will live together for a while and even have children of their own accord. However, the Selkies longing for the sea does end their romantic love life in tragedy. And speaking of which, male Selkies actually flip the role for the love life. As I already mentioned before, they kinda go after women who are lonely or unhappy in their love life. They will charm the female humans, mate with them to have health Selkies, and then often scram back to the ocean, leaving their human lover behind. It's also noted that male Selkies can be summoned by female... Well, I already mentioned that before, so I'm gonna skip that. And finally, there are tales where Selkies seek the aid of humans. There is a tale where a seal hunter was tricked into entering into the underwater kingdom of the Selkies because he wounded the king of Selkies, and only he himself could help save his life. He does so by putting like the wounds kind of together and stuff. You know, like how you get like a cut and then you take like your skin and kind of press it together to try to make it seal. Well, anyways, the King Selkie was able to heal from that, and yeah, it pretty much saved his life. And after doing that, the Selkies actually returned him home on the condition that he doesn't hurt seals again. This shows that Selkies, despite their tragic roles with humans, can be gentle and forgiving and still maintain good terms with them. But only if they aren't pushed to the edge. Half Selkies. What's also interesting about the Selkies is not just how they can become wives or husbands to them, but also how they are able to produce an offspring with humans. In some stories, Selkies can mate with humans and just make other Selkies. And this is also kind of true for male and female Selkies as well. But in parts of Ireland, there's tales of half Selkies. These are true mixed breeds of being half human and half Selkies. They exist in both worlds of man and Selkie, of the natural and the supernatural, and of land and of sea. Half Selkies from infant of the teenage years look and behave like normal humans. However, once they reach a certain age, they start to develop not only physical traits from water adaptations like webbed hands, but also develop supernatural behaviors and powers. With powers, they can swim at high speed, have better respiratory to allow them to stay underwater, cold immunity to water, enhanced physical abilities, and even the power to communicate with Leaf. With Leaf? Who the hell's Leaf? Anyways, I meant sea life. They also start to become like their parent as they have an inherent connection to the sea. Sometimes they also help their Selkie parents to return to the sea and even go with them to live as full Selkies. Of course, course, they might stay on land and stay with the humans as well, but they might work in jobs related to the sea, which may include being fishermen, sailors, or marine biologists, or join the Navy. Sail across the world as the Navy. I'm sorry, I had to do that. Anyways, the children of Selkies will also go to the shore to meet up with their Selkie parent in seal form and leave in the half-Selkies gifts. These half-children are a part of both worlds, and whether they stay on land or head to the sea depends on their deep connection to the ocean. Let's see. What's this one? Oh, sorry, wrong one. Popularity. I need to change that one from my previous one. The stories of Selkies are deeply enrooted with the Irish and Celtic cultures, just like the leprechaun that I mentioned before. And just like the wee men, Selkies have transcended from the shapeshifter lovers to popular creatures told in pop culture and media. In movies, local hero got the character Marina that might be a mermaid or a Selkie. The Secrets of Ron Inish is a fantasy film about a family who are descendants of Selkies. In Ondine, the character I cannot pronounce some of these names, I tell you what. Thyricus or Thyricos, whatever the name. Anyways, he called it a Selkie and explored the myth. And finally, the movie Selkies got the main character discovering that he's a Selkie. In TV series, Lost Girl had Bo help a group of Hang on, I'm starting to crash out in my voice and stuff. Blah. Blah. Oh, wait. Blah. 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 Okay. There we go. In TV series, Lost Girl had, is it Bo or Boo? I kind of forgot. It's been a while since I watched that series. Anyways, they had the main character help a group of Selkies who had their pelts stolen by the strip club owner. Do not ask me why Lost Girl was a wild show. Anyways, Man vs. Wild made a reference to Selkies when Bear Grylls made a wetsuit with sealskin. In cartoons, the show Curse had a Selkie seal pelt as an artifact and returned it to the Selkie in the Celtic cloak. Wish fart? What kind of cartoon is that? Anyways, they had a Selkie as a humanoid seal creatures, and the character Akiko found a baby Selkie. And Cat Scratch had a Selkie who was cursed as a banshee. In anime and manga, the ancient Magus Bride had a familiar name, Merituli. Yeah, I think that was her name. Anyways, she was actually a Selkie who appeared like a small child that wore an oversized sealskin coat. Oh boy, I'm starting to mess up on these. I do apologize. Pokemon's got the Pokemon Primarina that might be inspired by Selkies. My Hero Academia got the hero Selkie, whose powers have him be a seal man. Also, the fact that his name is literally Selkie too. And Dragon Goes House Hunting got the seal character Theria, who borrowed a seal skin from his Selkie friend to become human. You know, speaking of which, I've seen clips of that. I actually want to watch that. It seems like a really good anime. Anyways, in video games, there is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles that got Selkies as a blue and green humanoid race. Adventure Crest also got Selkies as humanoid seals, but who are more vicious. Kingdom of Loathing had them as rare seals, along with a potion called Blood of the Rare Seals. Pokemon Sun and Moon features the Selkie-like Primaria as a final evolution to the water starter Popil. Knights of the Old Republic got an aquatic race called the Silkaf. And the Dark Side Detective had the McQueen and Dooley saw a singing seal in Ireland. Although they don't know if that's a Selkie or just a rare singing seal. And of course, there's the tabletop games that include Selkies like Magic the Gathering, D&D, Pathfinder, and more. For books and comics, tainted fleas, because our skin are finer, had a seal hunter make a deal with a Selkie to return the pelt to his graven mother. Beside the Ocean of Time by George Mackay Brown, had a man that fall in love with a Selkie and stole her seal pelt to force her into marriage. Kinda like the myth. The Brides of Rock Row Island by Margot Lanigan had the sea wives who were seals cursed to be beautiful women by a witch. Natalie Groneder's Selkie had the character Quinn as a Selkie who escaped from a forced love relationship and hid in a lighthouse where she regained the trust of humans. J.K. Rowling's Haley. I meant Harry Potter. Anyways, they actually had Selkies as a type of mer people with no connections to seals for that. Selkie Girl by Lauren Brooks had the main character Elaine Sheen being the daughter of a Selkie. The author Susan Cooper with multiple Selkie books and picture books. And there are plenty of other books that I don't have time to mention as well. They are also featured in music like in the songs First Rising Tide by Alexander James Adams, Tori Minnell's song Selkie, song Selkies by Between the Buried and Me, Heather Dale's The Maiden and the Selkie, and a lot more. Like, holy moly, there was actually a lot of songs that were too many to list off. Even the podcast Ain't Slaying Nobody told a tale of Mara Inns, who's a Selkie with a damaged seal pelt. And finally, to wrap this off, we got the conclusion. The stories of Selkie are heartbreaking as it is a reflective of humanity's desire. A beautiful shapeshifter with great powers can become forced into marriage and having have children. And the only escape is getting back the seal pelt to return to the longing of the sea. So if you come across a Selkie and see her pelt, please do not fall for her and do not steal her pelt. Let the Selkies dance and swim freely in the seas of Ireland. And with that, that concludes our Selkies. So, what do you think about these shapeshifters? Do you really think they're as beautiful as they are told? Would you like to have one as a wife or a husband? Would you actually be willing to steal their pelts? Let me know in the comment section whenever I upload this on my YouTube channel. And with that, that concludes our... That's it. Hang on, I'm fixing this once and for all. Aha! I finally fixed it! Okay. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah! Our next creature of the week. I'm gonna give you guys a hint for that one. Ooh, this one is gonna be interesting. Just like the Selkies, we're also gonna be focusing on a female creature. However, this one will lure you to your own death. Just make sure that you watch out for her back. You may never know if it's something that you can see or not. I'm gonna leave y'all's imagination for that one. But yeah, that concludes this creature of the week, and I gotta say, this one has been a lot of fun. I like to thank Those Memes and Knight for joining me on this, and I hope to see you guys later on in the future as well. And by the way, even though that I am talking, if you guys want to ask me anything or just want to talk, let me know. I will try to do my best to talk to y'all while also doing these creatures of the weeks as well. And speaking of which, do you guys got any questions for me about the Selkies? You know what? I think I want to try that whenever I get people here. Class, is there any questions about the Selkies that you want to know about? I will give y'all a little bit of time to ask before I decide to close out the class. I think my students have left the class. They pretty much told me that they pretty much were just like, well, it's time to skip class and stuff. See ya, teach. Now I know how the teachers feel. Oh well, it's fine. The fact that I even got a class and stuff is great anyways. But anyways, I think that's pretty much it for that. I am gonna try to play Poppy's Playtime Chapter 5 again tomorrow. But it really depends on Streamlabs and stuff. Because like I said, this whole thing just... Streamlabs. Oh yes, I'm gonna be playing tomorrow. Let's see. I leave from my job. It should give me 2 hours to get everything ready. I should get ready to stream by at least 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I hope to see y'all back here at 10 o'clock tomorrow whenever I play Poppy's Playtime. By the way, Knight, is there any questions that you want to ask about the Selkies? It's doing the same thing with you? Oh, I thought it was just a me thing. But the fact that it's doing it with you as well, oh, Streamlabs, they have done something that has screwed us up big time. Streamlabs, if you're listening to this, you have got to fix this. This is unacceptable. But yeah. Got any questions? I know I keep repeating myself, but got any questions about these creatures before I go? Do 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 do. Okay. If that's the case, I will try... Oh. It depends. If we have Huggy out as C, and if they're facing off against a male Selkie who is very pissed off, then I think the Selkie will have the chance. It just depends on if Huggy can steal the seal pelt or not. That was actually a good question to think about. I would think that would give the edge to the Selkies, mainly because of the fact that they have like water and storm manipulations. Can pretty much just stay in their seal forms, which can deliver a fierce bite. However, if Huggy is able to kind of grab him and crush him, or if he's able to steal their seal pelts, they have no chance. Because after all, they can be killed. Alrighty then, Knight. You have a good night, and I hope to see you tomorrow. And with that, we're pretty much concluding this stream. I'm glad that these guys were able to show up and stuff, and I hope to see you guys other time as well. Unless y'all got any other questions for me. Got any other questions about the Selkie? I'll be more than happy to answer them. How about that? I'll give y'all a minute. I don't care to wait. I can wait forever. Actually, I can only wait for a minute. By the way, the answer sees those memes and stuff. This horn isn't really a unicorn horn. It's actually from a female centaur creatures from the Philippines. They're called the Inikate or something like that. And they're basically female centaurs, but they have unicorn horns on top of their foreheads. They also seem to have a crazy love obsession with gemstones. And I mean crazy, crazy love obsessions. Like, they're willing to do, like, can't really say what they do with them on Twitch, but it's very gross. So, yeah. That's the only reason I got this horn on top of my head. I am not taking any other body part. Oh my god. You know, that's actually an interesting creature I could talk about in the future Creature of the Week. I need to do that. Alrighty guys, well, a minute is up. There doesn't seem to be any more questions, so it is time to head on out of here. So it's all that out of the way. Oh, before that, like I told Knight, I will be playing Poppy's Playtime Chapter 5 tomorrow with a continuation. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Or basically at night. So you guys better be there. But for now, with all that out of the way, thank you guys for coming on this fantastic Creature of the Week stream. I hope y'all have as much fun as I did, as we got to learn about the Selkies. Oh. We got to learn about the Selkies and their shape-shifting, yet love tragic ways. And if you wish to check out more streams like these, check me out on my TikTok, on my Twitch, on my Twitter, and on both my main YouTube channel and my Game and React channel. And leave a like, subscribe, notify, and all that kind of stuff. And with that, I bid this show adieu. So see you guys. So long. Bye-bye. Okay, bye.